Howdy ho there, Internet. I have another very interesting book for you. Well, actually it's a one-act play. Under the Peach Tree by Lawrence Carr. It is a book about evil fertilizer. Well, it's a play about evil fertilizer that makes a peach tree evil, and murder and false gods. I'm still trying to get my head around it, but anyway, here's the thing. I've done a lot of theater in my life. No, I've done a reasonable amount of theater in my life. I may have been in a dozen plays, depending on what you call a play. This is a play where everything is established by a narrator. It's designed to be minimalist, abstract, and bizarre. And I think that's kind of a good thing. It's definitely a unique piece. It's different. I can't really tell, it's not very strong exactly what it's saying. On the back here it says, well, how far would you go for a lush garden? But this is not about gardening, obviously. It's about evil, and how evil can be contagious, and how we can go to extreme lengths to do the things that we really shouldn't do in life, to achieve our goals, which may not be terribly pure. And like any true horror story, evil seems almost indestructible. Now, it starts with a peach tree, given as a gift, and fertilized. And what that fertilizer is the critical moment of the plot. And I don't want to totally spoil it for you, although I don't imagine it would have been very hard to guess. Mind you, this is not a play that looks at science. It is not a play that examines the truth about fertilizer, which I do know a reasonable amount. It is a play meant to be more symbolic and crazy and force you to think. Now that said, if you're a theater company, if you're somebody who is probably going to put on plays, this would be a really interesting piece of production. It is, reasonably short. It has to be part of a larger show. If you're going to do something, this is not a bad option. I think that the audience, if they're play people, will enjoy this. If they're not play people, if they're not a theater crowd, they're going to look at this and say, huh? Because it's hard to understand if you're not a theater geek. If you're used to seeing people pantomime things and propless action and, oh, we're in a garden, but you're not in a garden, you're just standing on stage, great play for you. But if you don't care for those things, this is a play very much written in the modern era, very much designed based on someone who has a stream of consciousness of television and film, and yet the desire to write a play. So it's a play, it's a modern play, it's a play with varying settings that don't necessarily need to be there. It's a play where everything is communicated to you with dialogue or direct statement. And some people like that, some people don't. Someone once told me that narrators are terrible for plays. I disagree. I don't think anything is terrible for plays. This thing, I'm not going to say it's bad because I don't feel it was bad. But I'm not going to say it's good because I don't feel it was that great. It's somewhere in the middle. So again, Under the Peach Tree by Lawrence Carr. If you run across this, if you're looking for a medium length one act, go for it. I personally would not shell out the $8 this cost. It says $8 here. This kind of fell into my lap, and it's going back where it came from. But I did enjoy reading it. It was a very quick read. Again, not good, not bad, somewhere in between. Play Geek, go right ahead. Not a Play Geek, give it a pass.